Hey ladies, I'm going to go over the second example from our notes on border problems. We got cut off in the middle of class, so I'm just going to start from the beginning on this one. So we are told that a rectangular garden is 5 feet longer than twice its width, and it has a sidewalk 3 feet wide on 2 of its sides. And the area of that sidewalk is 213 square feet, so we're finding the dimensions of the garden. So we were given this nice little picture to start with, and just for fun, I'm going to color in the garden area. So this part of our rectangle is garden, and we were told that the width, we'll think of the width as x. I did the same thing in class the first time I did this. We'll think of the width as x, and we will think of the length as 2x plus 5. So in defining our variables, we're going to let x be the width of the garden, and we're going to then have 2x plus 5 being the length of our garden. Now, when we are looking at this whole rectangle, the garden plus the sidewalk combine together to give us our total area. Now, when we're looking at the problem, they told us as part of this problem that the area of the sidewalk is 213 square feet. So we know, as we are getting ready to do this problem, that if we're figuring out, I'm doing it again. Sorry, excuse that highlight. If we figure out that we have the garden plus 213 square feet of sidewalk, we will find out our total area. And at this point, it's easier to go ahead and move the garden over to the same side as total area. So if I subtract garden from both sides, I end up with an equation that's going to say 213 equals the total area minus the garden. Tess had a question in class about how did I get there, so I was trying to take it step by step, so hopefully that helps you see that. Now, total area and garden, I can define both of those using my variables. So when I want to find out the total area, oops, turned off the mic, put it back on. I know when I'm doing the garden, I'm trying to find out the total area. Part of the whole width for this rectangle, part of it is the garden, so part of that width is x, and part of it is the sidewalk, and that part is 3. So I would add those two together to get to the width for the whole rectangle. Going for the length, part of that length is the garden, so 2x plus 5, and part of that area is the sidewalk, so that is a 3. So when I add those together, combining like terms, 2x plus 8 would be the whole length of the total space. So when I want to replace total area in my formula, I'm going to be multiplying my length times my width of my total space, so that becomes 2x plus 8 times x plus 3. Now that whole thing subtracts the area of the garden. The area of the garden is also length times width, so the length of the garden is 2x plus 5, and that whole thing is times the width of x. So now, if I go ahead and FOIL, I will be able to distribute my 2x plus 8 onto x plus 3. So first, 2x times x becomes 2x squared, plus 2x times 3, so that becomes 6x, plus 8 times x becomes 8x, plus 8 times 3 is 24, minus my answer here. So this x times 2x is 2x squared, x times 5 is 5x, and that whole answer for the garden has a nice little -1 in front of it. So if I go ahead and distribute that out, that becomes, keeping this the same, 2x squared plus 6x plus 8x plus 24 minus 2x squared minus 5x. Okay, now I'm going to combine my like terms. So I have an x squared and a minus x squared. I have a plain x, a plain x, and a plain x. And then I have just a number with no x. So going through here, my 2x squared and my minus 2x squared, those two cancel each other out. I'm going to combine my 6x and my 8x to get 14x, and then I will subtract out 5 of those to get that down to 9x, and then I will add in my 24. Now I'm going to continue to solve for x here, so I will subtract 24 from both sides, and 213 minus 24 leaves me with 189, and that is equal to 9x. And when I divide 189 by 9, I get that 21 is equal to x. So I'm not quite finished yet. X is just my width, so the garden is 21 feet by, and now I need to figure out what the length would be. So I can plug in, switching colors here to not get confused, 2 times 21 plus 5, so that works out to be 42 plus 5, which is 47. So my length is 47 feet. So my garden is 21 feet by 47 feet. And that's that.